This is an OT case, Hill, which is adapted from ACCA paper June 2015. On the left part of the screen, you can see the question, whereas on the right part of the screen, there are 5 objective type questions being asked. So we will read the case, we will understand the questions, we do some calculations, and we fill these boxes. So let's read the scenario. Hill is a private hospital carrying out 2 types of procedures on patients. Each type of procedure incurs the following direct cost. So reading this scenario, it is very clear that we are given the scenario of a service business. So there are 2 procedures, A and B. Surgical time and material costed $1,200 to procedure A and $2,640 to procedure B. Anesthesia time and material cost $800 to procedure A and $1,620 to procedure B. Now in the next paragraph, they give you the current system of absorbing overhead. So let's read that. BH currently calculates the overhead procedure, and I will just try to note it down by highlighting this as well. So currently company takes the total overhead cost and divide it by number of procedures. So this is the current method of absorbing overheads. Very simple. We take total overhead cost, and at the bottom you can see this is the total overhead cost, and then the company divided by the total number of procedures. So here you can see these are the total number of procedures. So by dividing total overhead cost by the number of procedures, they get an overhead rate, and applying this overhead rate, they calculate the overhead cost per procedure. Using this method, the total cost is $2,475.85 per procedure A and $4,735.85 per procedure B. So this total cost includes the overhead cost as well as the cost of surgical time and materials and anesthesia time and materials. Now the scenario continues. Recently, another local hospital has implemented activity-based costing. So another hospital implemented activity-based costing. This has led the finance director at BH to consider whether this alternative costing technique would bring any benefits to BH. He has obtained an analysis of the BH total overheads for the last year and some additional data, all of which is shown below. So now the finance director, inspired by the implementation of ABC, has gathered the data and performed the initial steps of implementing activity-based costing. So we are given the result of these steps. According to the table mentioned below, there are 4 cost pools: administrative cost, nursing cost, catering cost, and general facility cost. And there are 4 cost drivers given for the 4 cost pools. And then at the bottom, we are given the total of the drivers as well as the total number of procedures. Now, based on all this information, we are required to reply to certain objective type questions. Now, the first question is, calculate the overhead cost per unit of procedure A under current method of absorption costing. So the question is asking you to calculate the overhead cost per unit of procedure A using current method of absorption costing. Now, the current method of absorption costing, I just mentioned it while reading the case, is that you divide the total overhead cost. Now, the total overhead cost here is 17606. So 17606. 352. So this is the total overhead cost. So according to the current method, the company is dividing total overhead cost by the total number of procedures. So here we have information about total number of procedures. So if we add these two total number of procedures, we get 37,000. So total number of procedures become 37,000, and then we need to put it here, 37,000. So if I divide the total overhead cost by total number of procedures, the rate I'm getting is 475.85 per procedure. So because I took number of procedures at the bottom, so the rate is 475.85 per procedure. So I will simply write this answer in the box provided. So the next question is, calculate the total catering cost for procedure B. Total catering cost for procedure B. Now from the question on the left, you can see that the catering cost is 966,976. So, and the driver of the catering cost is number of meals. And number of meals are mentioned at the bottom of this table. In order to calculate total catering cost, first of all, we have to calculate the overhead absorption rate of the catering cost. So let me do this calculation, because in activity-based costing, we need to calculate multiple rates. So what I will do first is, I will calculate OAR for the catering cost. And how I do it, I divide the total of the catering cost, which is 966,976, by the total number of meals. Now the total number of meals would be, so there is one meal for procedure A, so that would be then 14,600 meals, and there are 4 meals for procedure B, so that is a total of 87,600 meals, and if I add them together, in total they are 104,200 meals. So 104,200 meals. So these are the total number of meals. So if I divide the total of the catering cost by the total number of meals, the rate I'm getting is 9.28 per meal. Now, once I got the rate of the catering cost, I need to apply this rate, because what I need to find is, I need to find the total catering cost for procedure B. So in order to calculate total catering cost for procedure B, I need to multiply the rate, which is 9.28, with the total number of meals in procedure B, and this is what we calculated earlier. For procedure B, total number of meals are 87,600. So if I multiply 9.28 with 87,600, that is 812,928. $812,928. So this is something I need to write in the box. 812,928. So this is the total catering cost for procedure B. Now the third question is, we are required to calculate the nursing cost and the general facility cost per unit. So in order to do this, first of all, I need to take the total of the nursing cost and the general facility cost. So from the question you can see, nursing cost is 6215616 and the general facility costs are 8553600. If I add them together, the total would be 14769216. So this is the total of nursing cost and the general facility cost. Now I need to understand this, what drives this cost. So in the question, both of these costs are driven by the length of patient stay. And that's the reason why we are adding them together as well, because they have the same cost driver. Now, if we look at the cost driver at the bottom, then the length of patient stay is 24 hours for procedure A and 48 hours for procedure B. So what we need to do is we need to take the total number of hours. So how we calculate it? We multiply 14,600 with 24 and we multiply 22,400 with 48. So in this way, we will be able to calculate total number of hours. So now if I multiply 14,600 with 24, this is 3,50,400 and this one is 1,075,200. If we add them together, the total is 1,425,600. So here we got another number which is very important in our calculation. So now in order to calculate OAR for OAR for nursing and catering cost, we need to divide the total of nursing and catering cost. Sorry, I just noted down the total of the hours. So total of the cost is 147,69216 and the driver is number of hours, so that is 1,425,600. So if we do this, the rate is then 10.36 per hour. Now we are required to calculate the general facility cost per unit. Now what we and that is for procedure A. And what we calculated so far, we calculated the rate. Now we need to multiply this rate with the number of hours required for procedure A. Now the number of hours required for procedure A are 48. So here you can see from here. So we multiply 10.36 with 48 and doing so we will get the result, and the result is for procedure A this is not 48, for procedure A this is 24. So I need to multiply this with 24. So 10.36 with 24, that is 248.64. So here we got the answer, and this is something we need to write in the box. Now question number 4, calculate the budgeted full production cost per unit. Now budgeted full production cost. Now we know that budgeted full production cost should comprise the cost of material and the cost of the other labor time and the overheads. Now if I go back to the scenario, then you should note it down that the cost of material and the cost of anesthesia time and material, so these two costs in total are 2,000, right? So what the question requires is, the question requires us to calculate the budgeted full production cost per unit of product X. I guess there is some mistake here. This should be product A, because there is no product X in the question. So I make it product A. So we are required to calculate budgeted production cost per unit of product A. Now how we calculate it? First of all, we need to take direct costs into account. Now direct costs are given as 2,000. I just highlighted both of them. And now we need to calculate overheads. And the question states that we need to use activity-based costing. So what we are given is the total of the overheads under activity-based costing. So if we are given the total overheads under activity-based costing, which are allocated to product A, 492824, we simply need to divide it by the total number of procedures. So total number of procedures for procedure A are given as 14,600. So we need to divide this by 14,600. So in this way, we are able to get the rate. But by the way, we don't need this rate because we need to calculate in total. So for calculating in total, what I would do is I will multiply. So we are required to calculate total production cost. So for total production cost, would include the direct cost. Now direct cost is given as 2000, so 2000 multiplied by 14,600, so that becomes 29200,000. And then we are given the overheads which are allocated to the procedure A using activity based costing, 492824. So in total that becomes 296,92824. So this is total production cost. Now to make it per unit, we need to divide this by 14,600. So if I divide this by 296,92824, if I divide this by 14,600, what I will get is 2033.75. So this is the answer, 2033.75. So the final question is, which two of the following statements about ABC are correct? The statement A is ABC is useful for production overheads. Now remember that ABC is useful for production and non-production overheads both. ABC is more useful when overheads are related to volume. No, ABC absorption costing is more useful when overheads are related to volume. C, ABC is an absorption costing system. Yes, so in the lecture we understand this as well, that ABC is an alternative method of absorption costing. D is ABC must be based on activities that are measurable in quantitative terms, so that is also not correct. So option C is correct. So here is the solution to this OT case, which has been adapted from past paper. So I will be uploading more OT cases and questions related to ABC very shortly. Thank you. Bye bye.